What's going on YouTube? My name is Sam, and today we're talking Plains of Eidolon Remastered and the two biggest things that you need to know about it. But first, if you're new here, consider subscribing. I try and post new content every week. But for now, let's get right to it. So welcome to the remastered Plains of Eidolon. It really puts a fresh, kind of new, beautiful feeling into the plains, which have kind of been around for a while, since 2017 when they got released. So when you step into the plains now, it kind of feels like a kind of a new experience. A little bit of the old stuff, but a lot of new stuff. So let's get right to it. The first awesome addition to the Plains of Eidolon is animal conservation. Now, animal conservation was introduced back in 2018 with the release of Fortuna and the Orb Valis. So if you've trekked across the Orb Valis saving animals for the business with your tranq rifle, you're kind of used to the way it works, and it works pretty much the same way here. So there are currently 3 animals available for conservation in the Plains of Eidolon. You have the Kuwaka, which is kind of like the rabbit. You have the Conduct, which is like the vulture, falcon type bird. And then you also have the Mergu, which I believe is a completely new addition. And it looks kind of weird because its wings are on its butt. But listen, it's unique. We all love it. So the cool thing about conservation in the Plains of Eidolon is that you don't necessarily need to use echo lures or pheromones to attract certain variants of animals. The Kuwaka and the Conduct and their respective variants can be found free roaming throughout the world. So you just have to keep your eye on it, and you can tranq them as they're sitting there, I don't know, enjoying a meal or having a conversation, whatever it is that the Kuwaka and the Conducts really do. I believe the only animal that you actually have to use lure on is the Mergu, which is the newest species to come to the Plains of Eidolon. And it works the same way as it did in the Orb Valis. So when you equip your tranq rifle and you can swap between your lures, select the Mergu lure and it'll give you little paw prints on the map. Just go to the designated paw prints, start tracking the animal, and then you use the lure to call it, wait for it, tranq it, and there you go. Now you have that Mergu tag specifically, and you can continue on your epic quest for every single floof in the game. Alright, so now it's time to introduce the second biggest thing to come to the Plains of Eidolon. Meet the Tusk Thumper family. Now there are 3 variants of the Tusk Thumper. You have the regular Tusk Thumper, the Tusk Thumper Bull, and the Tusk Thumper Doma. These machines are big, beefy, and sometimes they yell at you. But despite their size and armor-like appearance, the Tusk Thumpers can be dealt with pretty easily. The weak points and the only points on this machine that are actually going to take damage are the knees, or knee-like components. Now the legs come in 2 parts. The first is this protective type shield on the knee, and then once you blow that off, you'll see green LEDs that are shown to you. Those green LEDs are the weak points. Just knock off the panel above the LEDs and then the LEDs themselves until they go out, and that's how you know that leg's gone. Rinse and repeat 4 times and you've taken out a Tusk Thumper. This fight is actually kind of simple in terms of killing the Tusk Thumpers, and it's really fun, but it can be kind of tedious. The Tusk Thumper can fight back. It will charge at you, it'll pound the ground and send shockwaves out that can stun you and push you out to the perimeter of the circle, and it can kind of jump on you and squish you. Now that hasn't happened to me yet, but you know, it's bound to. Now, if you're a new Warframe player or a returning Warframe player and you want to play it safe this fight, I would choose one of 2 frames. The first one being Rhino. Rhino's iron skin provides a nice little buffer and armor bonus for this fight. Also with the bonus that when the Thumper thumps into the ground, you won't get knocked back. Rhino's roar will help you take it down quicker with the damage boost that you get depending on how you've modded it. Now my second choice for this fight would be Nova, especially if you're a new Warframe player or a returning Warframe player and haven't really had a lot of opportunities with other frames. Nova is always a consistent frame. Her Null Star ability in this case will help damage reduction, and then on top of that, her Molecular Prime will actually slow down the Tusk Thumper, giving you time to work your way around the legs and make sure that you hit them all. So once you've knocked out all 4 of the green LEDs, the Tusk Thumper just stops, explodes, and now you have resources. What would you do with all those resources, one would ask? Well, I have a very good idea. That's right, we're gonna be talking about floofs. Don't give me that look. You know you want them. 1 set of floof comes from the conservation, just like it did in the Orb Valis. Once you tranq and obtain 5 of the same type of animal, you get 5 of those little tags. You can go, in this case, to Master Tasonai, and he will give you the floof corresponding with the animals that you've traded in. Now to obtain the second set of floofs, you have to go visit Nekak, which is the kid with all the masks, and if you have the Frame Revenant, you know him very well because he's involved in his quest line. So once you go and you talk to him, you'll see that he has 3 Thumper floofs available. 1 for each Thumper type, the Tusk Thumper Doma, the Tusk Thumper Regular, and the Tusk Thumper Bull. Now the odd thing about these is that they don't require anything that drops from the Tusk Thumper fight itself. These are all resources that you can gather from the Plains of Eidolon. Alright guys, so there you have it for the remastered Plains of Eidolon, the two biggest things that you need to know, the Tusk Thumpers and conservation. Leave a comment down below and tell me what you like or don't like about the new Plains of Eidolon. Personally, I haven't found anything that I don't like about it so far. If you have any Warframe content that you'd like to see, also leave that down below. If you liked the video, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you really liked the video, consider subscribing. And I'll see you guys in the next one.